Welcome to makeIT Unit 2, the multiple choice specimen paper. This multiple choice paper would be different from the other multiple choice papers. One, because it's a new syllabus, and two, I'm going to work out the answers and then compare the answers that they have with ours to see if it matches up. Now, while I'm working it out, you may see different reasonings for certain questions because some of them are a little bit ambiguous and some of them are a little bit hard to understand. So when we go through the specimen answers, we might see what they were thinking, and I might disagree with some of the things that they were thinking. But the whole point is I want to help students to be able to reason through the questions and choose the best answer. And even if the specimen paper has it wrong, well, we don't know what will happen if they actually keep that wrong answer when they mark in the real thing. We don't know if they actually use that when they mark in the real thing or not. But at the end of the day, at least you will see how the answers go, and you see how sometimes they may have the wrong answers in the specimen paper, which, you know, sad sometimes, but at least it will help us understand. So enjoy the video. Alright, this is the first time that I'm going to look at this paper. Like, never seen it. Well, I had it for a long time now, but it's the first time that I'm actually going to, like, do it. Let's see what surprises they have. This is the specimen paper for Unit 2 IT under the new syllabus, which has changed and added in some new stuff. Let's see if there's a different way for them to ask the question than before. Alright, question 1. Let's see. We have a table here. ID, first name, last name, salary. The feature of the database that arrow 1 is pointing to, this is arrow 1 here, arrow is pointing to a field because last name would be a field. Yes. I'll check all the answers after and see if they have any inconsistencies with what I have. What is 2 pointing to? The shaded arrow denoted by arrow 2 is most likely indicating a field, record, relationship, or primary key. Well, it can't be a relationship, it can't be a primary key, it can't be a field, so it's a record. But a record is really the whole thing. Like this whole thing here is a record. So pointing at the number 2000, that doesn't really, that's actually data it pointing to. Yeah, it actually pointing to data. At least they didn't have data as an answer to confuse you. But if it was supposed to be a record, the arrow should have kind of stopped like right here, or the arrow should have come on this side and be like that to be a record, because a record is a collection of related data. Okay, not bad. That's new. I don't think I've saw that question before in the other multiple choices. Duplication of data in a database is known as redundancy. Yeah, redundancy is another word for duplication. Can be documentation, inconsistency, no. Integration, definitely not. Yeah. Normal forms do not affect databases in terms of normal forms. They do affect integrity, they do affect consistency, they do affect performance, but they do affect security. Putting something in first normal form, second normal form, third normal form, that doesn't make it any more secure than it was before. So security should be the answer there. Number 5, the symbol above represents something in a data flow diagram. This is called a data store, definitely for sure. A process could be either oval or thingy like that. Source, I don't know what a source entity is. That, yeah, I don't even know what a source is. I think there's only entity, data flow, process, and data store. Then yeah, so it's data store for sure. A relational database is being created of all the banks in their respective branches in St. Lucia. What kind of relationship would most likely exist between the bank table and the branch table? I think this one is a repeated one. I think we see this one a few times before, and it's slightly confusing. Just a tad. Alright, so it's all the banks and their respective branches. So all all of the banks. Now, is it one bank and multiple branches, or a lot of banks that all have multiple branches? So a relational database is being created of all the banks. So imagine they have a database, they have bank 1, bank 2, bank 3 in a table. And then they have all the branches. Bank 1 has 3 branches, 1A, 1B, 1C. What relationship most likely exists between the bank table and the branch table? I would say one to many, because one bank has many branches. So we will go one to many. Okay, if we have to put it in an actual table, yeah, it will be one to many. It's very tempting to put many to many for this answer. Very tempting, but don't. Alright, which of the following is not a type of database organization model? There is network relational hierarchical archival. That's not a database relational model. Never heard of that before. That's a repeated question. Normalization is used to save storage. Yes. Minimize data redundancy. Yes. Increase security. No. So we're looking for 1 and 2. Do we have 1 and 2? Yes, we do. Usually when you have that question and you have 3 to choose from, don't jump to the answers yet. Try to answer the question and then see if there's an answer that matches the answer that you came up with, because when you start to look at the answers, they start to get confused and you start to think different things, and I don't know, it's get confusing. Alright, which of the following is not a benefit of a database approach? Improve data integrity, that is good. Program independent, what's that? Less memory usage, that's correct. Integrated data, that's good. Program independence, I'm not too sure. Program independence doesn't sound like it have anything to do with databases. Integrated data, that is good. Yes. Less memory. Improve data integrity, yes. So program independence, I would say B, logically. Alright, now we have some tables and we have some SQL queries to do. Item 10 refers to the following table name list. Student ID, first name, student last name, and grade, okay. They have a query. Query select student first name, alright, from list, which is the name of the table, where student first name contains E. Contains E means any first name that has an E in it. So we're looking at Carrie and Eli. So the 2 records that we would get, 2 records, Carrie and Eli, so 2 is the answer. Using the contains, anyhow, contains is a valid one. Normally it's by equal sign, but you could use contains also. I mean, you could. Alright, item 11 refers to the following tables. Field name, data type, description, book ID, number, book type, okay. Authors table, field name, data type, description, okay. The field author ID in the books table is a what? Author ID in the books table is a foreign key to the primary key of that. So we call it a foreign key, because the primary key here is author ID, and that would be the relationship to, yeah, one author could have many books. So it's a foreign key, ID in the books table, yeah. Number 12 refers to the following table named contact. Alright, so you have another table. Which of these SQL type commands will remove Melissa Simmons from the table? Alright, let's see. We definitely don't want to use drop, because drop will delete the whole table. Delete from first name where ID is equal to 2. No. First name is not in it's supposed to be delete from and any table name. So this here, this is a field name. So we definitely go into the delete from command is delete from the table name, which is contact, where first name is equal to Melissa. So we'll delete from this table where first name is equal to Melissa. Yeah, I'll delete that whole row. Yeah, so D is our answer here. And we proceed. Which SQL command would return the names of all persons in a table born before 1st of January? Delete all the people who were born before. These date queries have some, I think it's had a hashtag or something so far, date query to work in what. If they have it like this, okay, so select return the names of all persons born before 1st of January 1991. Select from contact. No, we don't want to select everything, so it's definitely not A. We want to select just the name, so first name, last name. So we're not doing A and C because those are using the asterisks. Asterisks are wildcards. Wildcards mean it'll return every single thing, right? So we want to select first name, last name from contact where date of birth is equal to the first. No, we want to check for people who are born before the first, so we have to check less than. No, that was easy. D is the answer. Okay, which of the following functional dependencies are redundant? This functional dependency thing, yeah, I'm not 100% sure if it explicitly stated in syllabus, you know. I'm really not 100% sure, but let me go with it and see. Alright, which of the following functional dependencies are redundant? Model number, manufacturer. That is, the manufacturer is dependent on the model number. Yeah, model number, chassis number, year. The year doesn't depend on any of these. The year could be anything. And year and model number. Yeah, the chassis number and the year have nothing to do with each other. The model number will most likely be dependent on the manufacturer will definitely be dependent on the model number. So I'll say 2 and 3. Is there a 2 and 3? Yes. Functional dependencies could be iffy at times, but yeah, 2 and 3 is what we go for. I believe this is a repeated one also. I remember seeing this in some of the other papers. Alright, a table is said to be in first normal form if it contains no non-key dependencies, it contains no partial dependencies, it contains no repeating attributes or groups of attributes. Every determinant in the relation is a candidate key. Wow. I believe it's C. It contains no repeating attributes or groups of attributes. Partial dependencies, that is third normal form. Contains no non-key dependencies. Yeah, that's second normal form. Yeah. I think. Yeah. But C is the answer for sure, because no repeating groups or attributes. Clearly that. Right, number 16 refers to the following table. Another table again. After the spreadsheet has been sorted in descending order according to score, it will appear as. This is a CSEC question. There's like a CSEC question. Sounds very CSEC-ish. After the spreadsheet has been sorted in descending order according to score, if it's sorted in descending order according to score, that means it's going to go from biggest to smallest. So you'll have 50 on top, then 38, then 32, then 25. 50, 38, 32, 25. Does that look like it so far? Yep. Can't see any others. That's definitely descending order. This is a question asking you about descending order. How crazy is that? And let's go to number 17. Which one of the following would be considered a primary source of information? Primary source of information would be a diary. The reason it's a diary because this is handwritten. This is directly written by the person. So it's almost like you're interviewing them if you get from a diary, right? So it would be considered primary. Newspaper, somebody has to report it. Catalog, somebody has to report it. Newspaper, somebody has to write over the information, the primary information, I think that they got, yeah. IT tools are typically used to reduce human errors, speed up the process time of transactions, store and retrieve large volumes of data. IT tools are used to reduce human errors, yes. Speed up the process time of transactions, yes. Store and retrieve large volumes of data, yes. Alright, we'll go with 1, 2, 3. OK Photo wishes to store a large quantity of digital images for easy retrieval and sharing with clients via the web. Which of the following sources would be most appropriate? Large quantity of digital image for easy retrieval and sharing with clients via the web. Via the web? Well, that would be an online database. An operating system most suitable for a mobile phone is Android. I hope that, yeah. Good. This one is new. I don't think I ever see this one in my life. No, never saw that one. Number 21. Which of the following reports are used in organizations? I don't like this question. But I will assume that ad hoc reports aren't. They don't like ad hoc in organizations because ad hoc reports aren't easy to understand. So they may use summary reports and pre-formatted reports. Please tell me there's a 2 and 3. Yes, there is a 2 and 3. I'll take that. Ad hoc reports are organization. If I am in an organization and you bring an ad hoc report, I'll be like, please give me the summary. Because that's what you want, right? The most appropriate format to display information on phone sales for the last 6 months. Last 6 months will be no, this is hard. A graph or a chart? I would say a chart, because you'll have to chart it for the last 6 months. But what is the difference between a graph and a chart? Because a chart, like you could have a bar chart or a bar graph. How we figuring out that one? Chart or graph? Chart, graph. The logic is astounding. Think about it. I'll go with chart. Because you want to show a good graph. If it's over the last 6 months, it would nice to be a line, right? It would look nice as a line, like a long line, which is a graph. If it's a chart, that means it will show blocks or bricks. But the blocks or bricks would be able to show you. Let me Google that. Graph versus chart. What is a graph versus a chart? Charts represent large information into graphs, diagrams. Wow. Both charts and graphs, both possess appealing all kinds of graphs, but all charts. Look, that's now they might have some difference. The aim of a chart is to present different types of data translated into patterns. Alright, so a chart is for different types of data translated into patterns. The aim of a graph is to show a mathematical connection in a set of data. Alright, we will give it a graph, not chart. I don't like that question. For years now, I didn't like it. Alright, a local radio station received information concerning an alleged terrorist plot. Ooh, steamy. Which of the following characteristics should not be considered as the radio station evaluates the information? Currency should be considered, of course. Criticality. What is criticality? Reliability should be considered availability. They receive information concerning an alleged error. Yes, the information should be available. Is the criticality? I don't think that's a thing. You can't really evaluate criticality. That'd be kind of awkward. John and his classmates were assigned a mathematics project in statistics by their teacher. Each student is required to present his or her findings to the class. The most appropriate software tool to do that is statistics spreadsheet. Alright, a connection to a web page is through a hyperlink. Hyperlinks connect you to web pages. A political party wants to prepare and present its manifesto to the citizens of the country, which of the following tools is least likely to be useful in the process. Preparing a manifesto, that's a lot of words. You don't need a spreadsheet for that. Graphics, presentation, word processor, yeah, all of that will be presentable stuff. Data shown above, we have a table, last name, first name, phone, and mark ID. Data shown above is an extract from a database table. What sort, order, and field name is used to sort the data? And field name, not named, is used to sort the data. It's sorted by descending my mark. I go from 82 down to 63, 82, 75, 72, 78. Yeah, descending my mark. Ta-da. Like connection to a web page is through, like, how do you connect to the page? You have to click a hyperlink. Like, viewing the web page is through the browser, but to connect it, you would have to use a hyperlink. I understand what you're saying. I could see it because they say connection. But how the syllabuses teach IT is that they say a web page, a website is a bunch of connected web pages, and the connections between the web pages are hyperlinks. That's what they teach in CSEC IT, and I believe that's what they that kind of teaching model is what they carry on to Form 6 IT. So anytime they mention a browser in the syllabus, they always mention it in terms of rendering HTML. Follow?
Yes.
Alright, but we will see the answer and see if they have browser. If they have browser, I'll eat whatever I just said for lunch. Alright, which HTML tag is used to bold a text? B, bold. What is the correct HTML syntax for creating a hyperlink for the OK Photo website? They could have like stretched this out a little bit to make it easier to read, you know. Alright, so we have the anchor tag. You must open with an anchor and no, you're not closing the anchor one time. You open the anchor. Alright, so this one here wrong. You have to open the anchor and then just close the bracket because the anchor is modified by the URL. But you can't put URL, so you have to put href. So you have to put anchor, href, right, good, close that. Alright, so far C have it. A name, okay, definitely not name, right, so I think it's C. Because the anchor tag is modified with the href that will give the hyperlink to the text that will come between the anchor tag closing. Right, good. We'll take that. Which HTML code will insert a second level heading to HTML document? H2? H2, how to be? Yeah. Anna receives an email which goes directly into her junk folder. The email can best be described as it goes directly to her junk folder. The problem is different email clients use different words for spam. So some people call it spam folder, some people call it junk folder. So if it go directly to your junk folder, it's spam, I guess. But phishing emails go directly to your spam folder also. Like when they have a suspected phishing email, it goes to your spam. But based on my understanding of how the Caribbean Examination Council asks questions, they probably want you to associate junk folder with spam. Because phishing, spoofing, and farming, they're all in the same kind of category of threats, but spam is a folder, so. But a phishing email could go to your junk folder too. I will die on that hill if I have to. Very interesting. We'll see what happens when we look at the answers. Which of the following is an example of antiviral software commonly used in the Caribbean? McAfee. Never seen this question before, but they're real wicked to do that though. Suppose you use a Mac. If you use a Mac, then you have no idea what McAfee is because you've never seen it before, it was never installed. Suppose you use Linux. I guess they expect you to mention this in class or something like common antivirus software is McAfee and this and that. Or you could just do processor elimination and say Mozilla is a browser, AutoCAD is a technical drawing kind of thing, and Dreamweaver is a Dreamweaver don't even exist anymore. They don't even make it anymore. Alright. What is the name given to someone who uses a network to destroy or harm computers for political reasons? Sounds like a cyber terrorist. I hope. Which of the following measures are used to prevent unauthorized personnel from physically entering sensitive areas? Notice they have physically in capital letters. The reason they have physically in capital letters is because they want you to know that you must only use physical mechanisms. Grills, lock and key, audit log. Audit log disqualifies this one because audit log is what's called this thing, way? A virtual connection. Password, username, firewalls. Nope, all those are virtual. Security guards, grills, and usernames. Nope. Biometric devices, lock and key, and swipe card. Yep, all those are physical access devices. Even though biometric crosses the line between physical and virtual, it still has physical in it, so it still fall under physical because you have to use physical parts of your body. The method of putting messages into secret codes to safeguard the privacy of data during transmission is known as. The method of putting messages, that's encryption. Number 36 refers to the following choices. Which of the above computer crimes have been committed? Philip has deliberately deleted important files from the company's database because of disagreement with his employer. That's sabotage. Clearly, Philip is a bad person. XYZ software developers has approached an employee of its major competitor to coerce him into leaking information about their latest software projects being undertaken. That is espionage. Eavesdropping is thieving information. Fraud will be changing the information for your own personal good. So be and D there. A firewall is best described as a wall that makes a server room fireproof. Lol. A wall that keeps out intruders and prevents fire. Lol again. Computer program protects against viruses. That's wrong. Computer program protects a computer system from malware. Whoa! These answers are dumb. I guess it protects a computer system from malware, but the definition of a firewall would be to block or police or whatever you want to call it, manage internet traffic that comes in and out of our network. That's what a firewall does. I don't know how they have protects the computer system from malware. Antivirus does that. but it's the best one because they say best described as, so just choose the best one that you can find. Which of the following will be used by a company to identify a product that has been officially registered and legally restricted to the use by only one manufacturer? Which of the following will be used by a company to identify a product that has been officially registered and legally restricted to use only by the owner or manufacturer? Sounds like a patent. Copyright would be copyright may not be a product. Copyright is a more creative license kind of thing. So I think a patent would be better because they said a product that has been officially registered by only the owner or manufacturer. Yeah, because that's like if the patent is pending. Yeah. Meaning you can use it without their permission. Yeah, okay. Which of the following is an example of malware? Release of a worm. Worm is the keyword there. Information theft, hacking, piracy. That's just computer misuse. Or different types of misuse, but malware is actual program, bad software. A student copies a paragraph of text from Wikipedia for a school project without acknowledging its source. Which of the following computer crimes has been committed? That's plagiarism. Authoring. Alright, Mr. T had his computer system plugged into a device that offered protection to his PC. While working at home on the machine one day, he did not realize that there was an electrical outage until he attempted to turn on the television. Which of the following devices did Mr. T most likely have his computer system plugged into? Wow, okay, Mr. T has a computer system plugged into a device that offered protection to his PC. While working at home on the machine one day, he did not realize that there was an electrical outage when he attempted. Okay, so if there's an electrical outage, that means you are on a UPS because you have a battery. But if you don't know the current went, that means your battery was working. To perform a backup of a document created during the day, it is best to perform a partial backup of a document created during the day. All program files change. All files change during that week. All files change during the day. To perform a backup of a document created during the day, it's best to perform a partial backup of Interesting. To perform a backup of a document that's created during that day, it's best to perform a partial backup. Why would you do a partial backup? Because you're not doing a full backup. The reason you're not doing a full backup is because everything else was backup, but that one was only created on that day. So it's definitely not all files on the system because that's not a partial backup. All files change during the day. That sounds the most logical. Yeah? All program files change during the day? No, because it's a document. So if it's a document, program files get cut off. Okay. Alright, I'll go B. 44. In the main town of the country, there are people selling DVDs with movies that are currently in the cinema. These movies are not the original, are being sold for less. How are they talking about Potter's being so well? Which of the following terms, the DVD man does have big board up on the wall? Yeah, with the covers printed with a inkjet printer. Those movies are not the original and are being sold for less. Which of the following terms is the name given to the unauthorized copying and distribution of software? That is copyright. Intellectual property rights is a close fight, but no, copyright, clearly. No, unauthorized copying and distribution of software. Wait, they ask you all of the things about the DVDs and then they talk about software. Oh shucks. Doesn't it look like it's software piracy? Which is the following terms is the name given to the unauthorized copying and distribution of software? Why did they lead with DVDs for? To get you to think that you was doing copyright? Okay. Alright, software piracy is the best one. Given to the unauthorized copying and distribution of software. Cool. 45. Harry has been using the computer consistently over the last couple of days. He now realizes that he has been affected by back pain, neck pain, along with pain in other parts of his body. Which of the following, Harry going through real pain, boy. Which of the following terms describes the health result most likely to affect him? Repetitive strain injury. It's not carpal tunnel as various computer vision as your eyes, computer addiction as when you play game too much. Repetitive strain injury because all of them are parts of your body that strain. Back pain, neck pain. Yeah. Right. Okay. Now time for the moment of truth, where we try to check the answers against ours. Do I have this open? Deep information technology. Alright, let's get the specimen paper answer key. Alright. Get that to the side there. Get that to the side there. Alright, let's go for number 1. We have A, they have A. For number 2, we have B, they have B. Number 3, C, okay. Number 4, we have B, that's correct. Number 5, we have A. Number 6, we have C. Oh, they have B. Number 6, they have B. But you all can clearly see that it's really stupid because there is no relationship called none to one. Right? Do you see that? Do you see that very clearly? There is no relationship ever known to man in the world that is called none to one. So for number 6 they have B, but the answer is clearly C. These are the stories of our number 7. They have A, we have A. Okay, number 8 we have C, they have C. They really put none to one, man. Anyhow. Number 9 we have B, they have C. Number 9. Which of the following is not a benefit of a database approach? Less memory usage. Why would they say C? 9 is C. Because our database takes up more memory? Or what is...
So unless the memory they're talking about is like RAM.
If the memory they're talking about is RAM, then that is true. The database will take up space in RAM. What is program independence? They basically mean program independence is like using a different program, or it's independent of a program. I don't understand. How does a database approach give you program? Meaning you're not tied to Microsoft Access, or you're not tied to Excel. You could just basically use the database. I will agree. C is the better answer. If you interpret it as less memory being memory like RAM, because the database will use more RAM to run in the background. Alright, we'll take that. Number 10, they have B, we have B. Alright, good. Number 11, they have C, we have A. CXC. Number 11, they have C. Okay, it's true because they didn't say no. It can't be a candidate key. Because a candidate key means that it has to be a unique value. Book ID, author ID. No, candidate key means that it is possible that it could be a candidate. It could be a key. But they didn't say that the two tables related. They didn't say that the two tables related. If they said that the two tables related, then author ID is definitely a foreign key. But they have C for candidate key. No, for 11 they have C. Why is author ID a candidate key? Can it be a candidate key? I don't think it can be a candidate key. Because a candidate key is a field that is unique. Book ID would be unique in that table. Author ID wouldn't be unique because you could have multiple book IDs that have the same author. Therefore, it's not candidate. I'm sticking with foreign key. Let me just do a quick Google search. What is a candidate key? A candidate key is a specific type of field in a relation to it that can identify each unique record independently from any other data. Nope, it can't be a candidate key because it's not unique. It's not unique. Alright, so I'll stick with A, where they have C. Number 12. D, we have D, they have D. Okay, number 13. D, we have D, they have D. Number 14. C, we have C. Alright, 15. C. Okay. 16, they have A. We have A. 17, we have C. They have C. 18, D. They have D. Alright, good. 19, we have D. 20, we have C. Okay, cool. 21. We have C, but they have D. Which of the following reports are used in organizations? It's kind of vague to just ask which reports they are used in organizations. I think, what type of organization is it? If you say what type of organization, then you might be able to see that ad hoc is used in that organization, but generally, I don't think our organization will want an ad hoc report. Generally, organizations will always want things that are neat, pre-formatted and whatnot. Ad hoc reports will be for like, so they have D and we have C. Which of the following reports are used in organizations? You see, the thing is, if this specimen paper answers are correct, that means this is most likely what they use to mark the actual paper, and this doesn't really give you too much confidence. If they could have a specimen paper with wrong answers, then they could have a real paper with wrong answers too, or shady answers. Which of the following reports are used in organizations? If you say organizations generally, then it's possible that ad hoc reports could be used in an organization. It would not be not true. It is possible. They didn't specify the type of organization. Alright, we'll have to put B for this. Based on their methodology of making decisions, yeah, 21 would be key. I don't like it, but because the answer is such a great answer, the question is such a great question, that's what we gotta do. Alright, 22, the most appropriate format to display information on phone sales for the last 6 months. The most appropriate format to display, 22, sorry, B. You see they put chart and we put graph. What's the difference between a chart and a graph, folks? Unless they mean the information on phone sales for the last 6 months, which is the different types of phones. If it's different types of phones, then you would use a chart because you could get a bar to represent each one of the phones. But they didn't say that. The most appropriate format to display information on phone sales. It could be one phone that they're selling for the past 6 months and they're showing how much of that one phone was sold throughout the 6 months. But if it's multiple phones, then it would be a chart. If it's one phone, it would be a graph. I am unhappy. Because the question is stupid. Alright, so if you'll see this in your exam, choose B, right? Don't choose graph, choose chart. Because I feel that's how they want you to interpret it. Multiple different phones. This will get you vexed. Do you not feel a sense of, anger stirring up inside of you because of this? 23. They have D. Nah, I'm dying with this one. I'm dying on the hill with this one. Availability is the one that should not be considered when they evaluate the information. A radio station receives information concerning a less shared plus. Which of the following characteristics should not be considered as a radio station evaluates the information? If they're evaluating the information, I don't know. Criticality is not a thing. Like, what is criticality? How dangerous it is? I've never seen that word is in the syllabus. Maybe it is, and I just never saw it. Well, I have the syllabus right here. Alright, let me see if I go up to. I'm going back to up to the syllabus 2.8, right? See if I can find it. Module 2, 2.8. Do you see the word criticality in there? I'm gonna search for the word criticality. CRITICI. The word criticality is only found in the specimen paper. There is no mention of the word criticality anywhere in the actual syllabus. But I promise you, if I look for the word availability, availability is there. Availability is in the actual syllabus. Look at it right there. Availability again in the actual syllabus. Yeah, criticality is not a thing. Criticality is not a thing. I am holding on to it. Nope, not accepting it. B is the answer. Yeah. 23. I'm taking B, not D. Availability is definitely important. Like, the information I get, is it available? Is it freely available? How do we get it? 24, they have D, we have C. What kind of nonsense? John and his classmates were assigned a mathematics project in statistics by their teacher. Each student is required to present their findings to the class. The most appropriate software tool to use is presentation. If they have to present their findings to the class. Alright, I was wrong there. I was wrong. Because I saw the word statistics, I get catch. They actually supposed to use our presentation tool. That is totally.
So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Alright. I've taken more wrong there. Yeah, they would have to use our presentation tool to present it to the class. But the statistics would be used to get the graphs or whatever. Alright, 25. B, we are C. Ah, boy, Angeli. The moment of truth. This is where I have to eat my answer. Apparently they want you to say the connection to our web page is through a browser. A browser is not a connection to a web page. A browser displays a web page. A browser connects to a web server, which has a web page on it. But okay, we will take B. I wouldn't fight them there. It's plausible that it could be B. Alright, 26, they have C, we have C. 27, they have D, we have D. 28, D should be easy. B, we have B. 29, we have C, they have C. 30, D, alright, 31, A. 31, yeah, they have A. 32, A. Okay. 33, D 34, D 35, B, alright, cool. 36, we have B, 37, we have D, right, 38, D, no, they have C. They have C. A firewall is best described as a computer program that protects users from viruses. But then they have the part I chose D, which is a computer program that protects a computer system from malware. No. The fact that they said users here means that it could be a user on a network, and this one here is computer system, a firewall. But it could protect a computer system from malware because it blocks packets from coming in. They have put C. But a program that protects users from viruses is an antivirus. Nope, I'm sticking with D. I wonder why, like, it will be real hard for you to go into your examination, get back this same question or a question similar to this, and have to choose C as the answer because the specimen paper said C. This is clearly wrong, boy. This is clearly wrong. Firewall is best described as a program that protects users from viruses. A user is somebody who uses the computer. But a user could also be somebody on a network, but you're protecting them from viruses. The firewall does not protect you from viruses. The firewall blocks packets. Protects the computer system from malware. Yes, a firewall does that. Yep, I'm sticking with D. 39A, alright. 40A, 41D, 42A, 43B, right, 44C, and 45D, right? Alright, that's the multiple choice. So you see my answers, you saw the rationale that I had for it, you saw their answers, and you saw the rationale that I accepted some, but I couldn't accept others because some of them just not making sense.